USD bullish momentum meets gold's resistance. Federal rate decision and policy statements in focus. Hello and welcome back to the Pips O'Clock weekly market analysis. And this week, our focus is on the USD bullish momentum that has been on for a while and also checking the gold resistance against the bullish momentum of the US dollar. And of course, this week we are also going to be looking at marrying it with their expectations for the federal fund rates or federal monetary policy reports from the US and across board. So you want to relax and pay attention to this analysis and use the information to add to your profits. Please note that nothing here suggests any financial advice. Everything here is for educational purpose, and you want to do your own research and consult your financial advisor if you need one. Welcome back and let's go. So we are going to be analyzing gold, EURUSD, GBPUSD, and we have an overview of Bitcoin, using that to have a peek into the crypto market. All right, so in the past week, as you can see or you've heard already, we all know, if you really were in the market last week, you know that the US dollar dominance continued for EURUSD, for GBPUSD, but then for gold, it encountered a huge resistance before it fought back. You can see that gold recorded a new 3-week high. All right, this high beats all the past 3 weeks, 1, 2, 3. All right, for gold. And so we're going to be starting with gold, all right, in this analysis. So let's begin. So you can see here that this on the weekly chart, gold recorded a new high, higher than the week before it, the week before that same week, and the week after, the week before the other. So that means for 3 weeks, gold beats the high of this past 1, 2, 3 weeks. And at the same time, it formed an inverted hammer. Yes, it formed an inverted hammer. If you recall, that in last week, we thought that because gold, although that gold formed a hanging man here, and the week last week, the week after, it closed below the close of the previous hanging man. However, we pointed out that not being able to beat the low of that hanging man was a cause for concern for bearish gold. And so we were of the opinion that gold was going to make its way back up, and it really played out that same way. You can check the last week's analysis and you'll find that information. And so gold went ahead to record a new high, a new 3-week high. Okay, so it made a high of 26.09, and the previous highest high that could be that 3 weeks ago was 27.15.85. Okay, that was the week of November 17th. Okay, so now it closed it still closed bullish and formed an inverted hammer. So the big question now is, because this week is a very, very big week, when you consider there are a plethora of events that will be coming out from the central banks, particularly from the US, the federal fund rates, the monetary policy reports, and so on. All of this will be coming out. The FOMC reports, the monetary policy statements, all of this will be coming out on Wednesday for the US dollars, because you want to consider the USD pairs, and of course, followed by that of the Bank of England on Thursday. So all of these are really important. They are crucial as to what really happens to the trend for the USD this week. Okay, so now let's focus on the chart for gold first. Then we switch on to EURUSD, then GBPUSD, and then we'll touch on Bitcoin for the crypto markets. All right, so we have a higher high here for gold. So what we're going to do is to quickly switch over to the we want to check the floor pivot points to see where the pivot points lie against the closing price and what to expect as the week resumes. So quickly, let's check. Okay, so now if you see here, you can see this is gold pivot point analysis, and the central pivot point for the floor pivot point is at 2667.3. 267.3, and where gold closed at 2648. So meaning that level is above the above the close for this week. So question now is, if gold opens below the 2667.3, all right, which is the new week pivot, central pivot point, will it make it to have a bearish bias? It's possible, but at the same time, with what has happened here on considering this price action, all right, gold has the propensity to go and retest the high of last week. Yes, it has that. It's showing that. And also considering that this is an inverted hammer, and there's a very likely, because it's an inverted hammer, because some may call it shooting star. All right, some may call it shooting star, considering that it's in the northern side of the market. However, if you consider the immediate price action, you will see that this is an inverted hammer. How? Because the two immediate charts here suggest bearish move. Okay, so what this has done is to counter these bearish moves here. So it's an inverted hammer, and being an inverted hammer, we might see gold opening below the weekly pivot points, yes, may give a bearish bias at the beginning of the week, and that could actually cause gold to come down to retest this low, and of course it may even record a low that is lower than this past week. Okay, and it may not, because we are still going to find the support there, because if you remember, or if you could recall, that we plotted a trend line here, just from here, and we were like, gold may not be able to break past this. Of course, if it breaks past it, then the trend has reversed. So if you look at this now, let me plot this well. So if you look at from the rise from here, this is the rise from the 11th of February, yes, all the way up there. You can see the touch. There's a touch here. There's a touch. I think there are two lines, three lows that have been touched here. So what we'll be looking at, if gold is able to break past these bets, will it happen this week? That I don't know. I don't sincerely know. But then let's see if gold will make its way down a bit and then is able to gather momentum to push up, because the battle between gold and the US dollar will still happen this week. It will still happen this week. And in fact, the monetary policy reports will help to fuel this. Maybe this could happen on Wednesday. Who knows? All right. So, but then let's quickly look at the key levels to watch again. So from here, you see the pivot point at 2667.3, the resistance level at 2707.01. So that's another point to look at on the upside, because it got to 2726. So first off, 2707 is important to watch before you start heading towards 2765. All right, then on the downside, you have 2608. So 2608 is important. So if currently priced at 2648, so perhaps opening below the weekly pivot point actually may give it a bearish bias to go and test this first support level at 2608. Of course, failure at 2608, if it at all gets there, will now mean gold gathering enough momentum to go break past last week's high, and that could take it up to 2765.8. Okay, but then let's quickly see if we can come down to 4 hours time frame and look at what's going on. And on 4 hours, all the moving averages are operating above, or price is operating below all of the moving averages, whichever one. Okay, so and the RSI is heading towards the 30 level. It's heading towards the 30 level on 4 hours. So with what we have here now, you can say that, okay, you want to plot for a bearish market, but I suggest you don't do that yet. Let the market resume. Okay, of course, if you're by the time you're watching this and the market has resumed, you'll be able to actually see the market clearly for what is really happening, because this one is just taking past activities to make projections. All right, and so we will work with these key levels I've mentioned. By the time the market resumes, we can now plot our Fibonacci, if we can find it, to be able to really find confluence levels. Okay, so let's switch over to Euro USD. So for Euro USD, the market last week, we thought that it was actually going to respect what happened there and go, but then this eventually turned out to be whether it's spinning top or northern doji, but at least the market respected it and it faced down. So bearish move. And also right now it's now giving us an evening star pattern here. 1, 2, 3. It's giving us an evening star pattern here. And then, so if you want to take this into account and considering also they're also operating below the 200 period moving average. All right, so you will, and it recorded by price action lower low and lower high. So we expect it to make a new low. We expect it to make a new low. Who knows if the monetary policy report on monetary policy statement on Wednesday, whether it's going to help to force it further down. But then if there's rate cut, that may change the game. If there's rate cut, that may change the game for the US dollar. And of course, that is actually where gold may also capitalize on because the indications there may be rate cut. And if there's rate cut, this may just change the entire game for the US dollar for the week. All right, so for the levels, I would quickly switch here and let's see what I can find. Okay, first off, while we are switching here, let's also go over here to get the pivot points for the week. We're just picking the central pivot points. Okay, so for the central pivot point for the Euro US, you have it at 1.0517 and currently price is at 1.050. All right, so 1.05018, and you have the power point at 1.0517. So apparently, price opening where it is currently, it will be below the central pivot point for the week, and that will still give it a bearish bias. So perhaps the bearish bias may continue until Wednesday when we will either have a bearish continuation or bearish reversal from the federal fund rate and the monetary policy statement from the Federal Reserve. Okay, so that's for the Euro USD. Then for GBP USD, we are also bearish. Yes, this one is strongly bearish, and it also formed an evening star here and testing the resistance at 200 period moving average. So forming a double top there. For me, this is a clear indication GBP USD will lose it. It's likely to lose it further. All right, and also by price action recorded a lower low than the previous week. And so considering also that there is another monetary policy statement coming from the UK this week, who knows? Let's cross our fingers and see if this will give momentum to the current trend and make the pound sterling lose more weight, shed more weight against the US dollar, or the US dollar having the upper hand still, considering the previous night you'll be having the federal funds rate, and then the following day at noon you'll be having the BOE monetary policy statement and the fund rate too, the interest rate overnight interest rate report. Okay, so that's for the GBPUSD. I sincerely would suggest that we allow the week open and the markets, excuse me, allow the week open, and then we'll be able to really see the market sitting, and then we're able to make projections to what we want to bet. From the 4 hour time frame here on GBPUSD, you can actually find some key level. Let's see. Let me see if I can use this. I'll use the high from here. So based on that, I will just work with this, even though this may not really be a strong push. But if you look at this, a confluence around here, this is 1.27121, 1.27121. So if you look at the, let me quickly pick the weekly pivot points. All right, 2673, 1.2673 for the weekly pivot point, 1.2673. So if you bring it here, 1.2673 and 50% return is even below it, 1.2673. Okay, 50% return is above 1.2673. Okay, I think I have, there are two. Okay, that's it, 1.273. So, but this is too close for me. So this, that's why I suggest that the market opens first. But if you work with this, you see that that level is, okay, this is it here, not even that. Okay, so you see here that 1.2673 is somewhere around here, still above the current price. but then price might still attempt to come up here, test 50% retracement around here, or it may continue going down. So I think that this one will leave it open and wait for the information to come out, and then we'll make our projections. All right. So as it stands right now, you could trade technically Monday, Tuesday. From Wednesday night, you want to focus on what is coming out from the central banks. Let's see whether these trends will be redefined, consolidated, or reversed. Okay, so that will be it for this. So we'll try and see how if we can update this as the week unfolds. Okay, thank you very much. All right, now let's quickly check on Bitcoin. Darling Bitcoin is leading the way. Currently is at 102,938, and of course excuse me, of course you can see that he couldn't, though he was trying to go down last week, but then he couldn't reach the low of the previous week during the week. So what is headed now, where is headed now, the if it closes the way it is now, means that we might expect Bitcoin to touch 105 or higher this week. Maybe before Christmas, it may give us 107. Who knows? So Bitcoin is still bullish, crypto is still bullish. And if I quickly check on TradingView, we have Doge here. Doge is bullish. You can look at its market structure. It's still bullish, strongly bullish here. And of course, trading above the 50 SMA. All right, this is on the daily time frame. And a couple of other crypto, they're all bullish. So the bull run for 2025, I think, is just gearing up. They're warming up for what is to come. And what is happening here, yes, being bearish, cool. But be careful about being bearish, because from what is happening with Bitcoin, all of these is just a matter of time and they will all fall in line. So you want to trade carefully and trade win. All right. So that's the much we can bring you this week on market analysis. And we wish you a very profitable trading experience this week. Let the peace be in your favor. Gather them in green color and be profitable. Thank you very much. From all of us here at the Pixel Club, just want to wish you Merry Christmas in advance and a profitable trading week. Thank you and God bless you.